by raising him from the dead. So we have this concept that this resurrection from the dead is proof of God's ability and willingness to judge us. He's our judge. Now, I like to think that he's a good one. For example, not in your notes, bonus again, over here in the book of Isaiah. Did I ever happen to mention that I value the book of Isaiah? In Isaiah chapter 9, in verse 6, a child will be born to us, a son will be given to us, and the government, king, the government will rest on his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor. There's advice, wisdom, Mighty God, there's power, Eternal Father, not newly come, not soon leaving, everlasting, eternal Father, Prince of Peace. He didn't come to make war, he came to make peace. For there will be no end of the increase of his government or of peace on the throne of David, and over, there's king again, and over his kingdom, to establish it and uphold it with justice and righteousness. So we have this king, this God who's our king, who's also our judge. And we can trust that it will be always a righteous judgment. Whatever. Now, do not think that the New Testament or the Old Testament limits the concept of God's judgment to something down at the end of time. God is constantly judging his people. That's where blessings come from. That's where interactions with their life come from. That's where barriers God puts it, because he's making judgments about us. What will be best for us? How will he guide us? Here we have a God who is our king, who is our judge, and he's a righteous judge. A righteous judge. He has set a day in which he will judge the world in righteousness through a man whom he has appointed, having furnished proof to all people by raising him from the dead. Now the sad part of this story, Terry, is that when Paul said that, most of the people listening just mocked him, just derided him, scorned him for the concept of resurrection from the dead. But we know that God raised Jesus from the dead, therefore we know that God is our king, he's our judge. We're in good hands. We can have, according to Paul in Romans 6, our reading, we have the ability of a new life in Christ.